with the lovely Mrs. Nancy. And first off, let's ask, Miss Nancy, can you introduce yourself to our audience?
I certainly can. My name is Nancy Yarbrough. I'm the Executive Director of Fresh Start Learning. It's a nonprofit organization.
And what is Fresh Start all about?
Well, Fresh Start Learning is a plethora of many things. The one thing that we concentrate on the most for the last 3 years has been outreach and advocacy for victims of human trafficking, domestic issues, AOTA issues, just reunification of families. So we've been doing a lot of work in that arena.
Wow, that's great. So you work with a lot of people. Is it specifically based on race? Is it specifically based on gender? Who is the main group that you always work with?
You know what? It depends on if you're talking about the targeted population that has no age group, because we're talking about trafficking victims, anybody under the age of 18 or anybody over the age of 18 that just hasn't been identified or deemed trafficked. As far as our collaborative partners, we work with a lot of collaborative partners that work in the areas of housing, resources, healthcare, and those kind of things. So the general population could be African American, Hispanic, Caucasian, so that we don't have any gender-based or color-based based upon who we work with.
Yeah, I think that's really important to know because people always have a specific thing in mind that they think it's only one group of people, one race, one sex. So it's important to know that it's a variety. But there's always these stories that stand out, right? And I bet you have a lot of stories, and we want to know the good. Our whole purpose is to show the good.
Absolutely.
We don't want the Hollywood version. We don't want the glamorous. We want the nitty gritty, and we want to know it from you. So,
okay,
go ahead.
Well, I guess since you say it that way. No, I know we definitely have a lot of survival stories, like I call them. I like to talk about the ones that are just on the peak of coming out. When you know that your work is really doing the job it's supposed to. When it's important enough for somebody to call you in the middle of their day when something is happening, and they could have called anyone else, they called you. So I'll go with this story. I had a young lady give me a call, and she called me because one of the ladies that were on the street got cut. And I'm thinking it was an automatic fight. Like right now they're fighting, she got cut, they need somebody right away. I was at work, I asked to be excused, and I left and I went to find them. At that point, not thinking of anything but trying to help and finding where they were. So when I found the two ladies on the street, one of them said, well, she's not going to come now because she just wants to get high, but she needs to go to the hospital. So at that point, I kind of talked to her and said, let me see what's going on. Let me see your arm. Let me see your wound. And it was an old cut, and it was really, really, really infected. And what she had on top of it was a dirty piece of tissue wrapped in a ponytail holder. But what really meant something to me was the young lady that called me said she didn't have anyone else she could think of to call except for me. So that let me know that our work is very important. Our boots on the ground is very important. Being connected is very important, and building that trust is so important. That she called me to take them to the hospital so that the girl can get the help that she needed. Now, if I had blew that off, that girl could have died that day. When they got her to the hospital, to the emergency room, she had 104 temperature. She stayed there and got the necessary help that she needed, but then she was right back on the street. But when she went back on the street, the young lady that called me said, she's back out here, and I'm very angry at her, but she's out there nonetheless. But even in that second phone call, made me understand that I built a trust with them so much that when it comes personal, they call me because they know I'll show up. So those right there are really, for me, triumphant stories, because at the end of the day, when they're ready to come out, guess who they're going to call? They're going to call the person that they know that's really going to help. So I'm very appreciative of that.
Okay, but now you said you leave your job. This clearly means that all of this is not your only priority. So you have other responsibilities that you're willing to give up to help these people, to help the people that really need you, that's building trust in you. What else does it take for you to actually just go out and help these people?
I can say this. There's the side of me that knows and understands I have a family to take care of, the monetary side, but the heart in me and the passion that I have, because I remember when it was me, keeps me going out regardless of what someone else does or contributes. But God has been faithful. So we've had in-kind donations to help us with the Purposeful Purse Outreach Program. If I could do this 24/7, 365 days a year, that's all I would ever do, is try to be a help and be a conduit, a bridge, so people can come over. Because people need that. They need to have that kind of stability and trust that when they're ready to come out, that I'm not being handed off to somebody that really doesn't care. And I'm not just another big business. You know, I'm not just another token, but they're real people.
Yeah. So, I just heard you say the purposeful purse. Explain. When I hear purse, I'm very happy. So, maybe a lot of other people will be too, and very excited to listen to this. So, explain to us what is that and what it entails.
Okay, well, this is the conversational piece. I like to call it our olive branch of conversation. When you're out on the streets, boots on the ground, we have a program called Feet on the Street Outreach Program, or Outreach Ministries. And with that, it's called the Purposeful Purse. This was designed for us to be able to give back to the ladies that are out there on the street so that we can have a conversation without feeling threatened by their trafficker. So what happens with that is that we have the toiletries that's inside of there, whether it's like deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, sanitary napkins, dish, whatever it is that normal women use on a day-to-day basis that we may take for granted, we have it in those purses. We realize that they can buy all this stuff themselves, but we also have a handwritten letter of love and encouragement in each bag. One can't go out without it, and the gospel message, some kind of encouraging book that's inside of it. And we talk to those ladies and we hand them those bags, and we don't have anything in there that's going to cause them hurt, harm, or danger afterwards, because I'm sure they'll probably, the bags are going to go through. But we have that there, and now that we've been doing this for a while, they flag us down to fill up the bags. Or I've lost my bag, we need another one. But we're finding out that it's just conversation purposes, because sometimes some ladies flag me down not because they need any more toiletries, because they want to talk.
Yeah.
You know, they want to share, they need a hug, they need a word of prayer. But it all started because of that first purse that was handed